we are going to connect to the F2. We are now connected. I'm going to take a picture and we can type our name down here or whatever it is you're going to type. You're going to make sure to hit engrave. I'm going to size this down. And now I am going to pick a font. I tend to like the lobster font for this, so I will do that. And we're going to be annealing this. Annealing is just a black mark on the material, so we're not actually engraving into it. When you are annealing, you're just changing the color of the metal. So you're not removing any material from it. You're just changing the pigment. There's no cutting. There's not going to be any rough texture. So instead of burning the surface and removing the material, you're just gently heating the material just enough to create an oxidized layer. And basically that's just a chemical reaction from the metal with the heat, which then turns the surface black, especially on stainless steels, shiny objects, stuff like that. Why would you want to do annealing instead of engraving? Well, some people prefer it, for starters. Places like medical equipment and stuff like that, you can't remove the material. You just need that black mark on there. If somebody's going to be wearing a piece of jewelry and you don't want it scratching their clothes, stuff like that. So that's why you would choose annealing over an engraving. So we are going to set our settings for this today. And our settings that I have found that worked best so far for engraving are going to do the red light. We're going to do a power of 92, speed 15. We're going to do 2 passes, 300 lines per centimeter. And remember the advanced settings that I told you about in my last video? We're going to hit this at a 45-degree angle. And we are going to make sure crosshatch is indeed on. Now, when annealing, you definitely want to take this out of focus a little bit. When annealing, you want to take it out of focus by 3.5 millimeters. So remember how we measured the thickness of our material, which was 3.25 millimeters? We're just going to bump that up to 6.75. And I'm going to reposition everything. Now, when it's out of focus, it's not going to look like it's on your material. And this is why it's very important to actually do a framing, because it is going to look like it's slightly off on your material on the plate. So let's head on over and check out the framing feature. Frame, I am going to do the outline. I did turn the power up for the light so we can see it a little bit better. And we are just going to click frame and you'll see it over on the F2. As you can see here, the framing actually looks pretty good. If it were to have been off a little, you can just move your blank around until it's where you would like it to be. But I am going to go ahead and send this now. Thing looks good. We are going to send this over and have it processed. You can, I don't know if I went over this before, you can do a couple of different things for processing. So let's try a couple of things. So if we were to hit process now, this says it's going to take 15 minutes. That's a little long, but let's see if we can shorten that up. We'll click on user defined and we will see if that will, click in smart process will lessen that time up. As you can see, we now are down to 8 minutes and 22 seconds. Let's head back over to the F2 and watch this engrave. As you can see, that didn't even take the 8 minutes that it said. It was just a little over 7. And here's the final engrave. There is a little bit of residue on there, but that just comes right off. It's just a smooth black engrave. As you can see, there's no... Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys learned something today. Remember, we do have those 2 Facebook groups that I will link down below. I hope you guys all learned something today. We do have those setting sheets that we share in our featured section. So definitely follow the groups so you can get help with those and have a starting point to start with your machine.